And welcome back to Sports Talk in the Burgh. I am still Nick Hedrick. You've heard of Larry King, you've heard of Joe Rogan, but the best interviewer in the game, Logan Carney, is sitting down right now with our special guest, Neco Brett of the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. But first, here is a video package highlighting our special guest.
What an intro. First of all, Nick, thank you. Best interview in the game. I'm honored. But now I'm here with Neco Brett, one of the best soccer players here in Pittsburgh. Now, Neco, you were watching that highlight video over there, going from RMU back to the Burgh. So what's just going on in your head right now?
I really liked it, just to see what I was doing back in RMU. That's really good. I like that they showed it.
Yeah. So you talked about what you feel, being back here at RMU. So what exactly, is it like being back at Robert Morris after, I believe, 4 years?
Yes. It feels good, and I was like driving in, I saw the Civil Center, the new building. I was like, wow. This is where I used to go to school. It looks really good, and I like it. I like the progress and everything, so it's pretty good.
So do you still follow the Robert Morris team, keep in contact with the coaching staff? Right?
Yeah, actually I do. If I can come up for a game. Last year I came up for a few games. Whenever I can't, I try to watch it online.
So all these years ago, you came from Robert Morris. You came to Robert Morris from Jamaica. So what made you, they're not exactly, it's not exactly neighborhoods. They're not exactly recruiting pipelines. So what made you come to Robert Morris?
When I was back home, before I talked to Coach Bill, I wanted to go to a school where I had Jamaican friends. So at the time, I had 3 Jamaican friends here. I had Devin Speedy Williams, Carl Reed, and Prince Samuels here. So I thought it was just the perfect place for me to come in. Play.
So you've been in the United States here for a while, obviously, so about 8 years. So what has it like been, adjusting for the whole new culture for those 8 years? Obviously the biggest adjust was those first 4 years, but since then, have you adjusting overall the past 8?
I think the first year was super difficult because when I came here, I didn't like the food. The place was really cold. I didn't like nothing at all. Like it's totally different. I didn't have any jacket, nothing. So after a while, I learned pretty quickly, and I have my boys there to support me.
You were talking a little bit earlier about the cold. You practiced earlier in the cold and the snow today. What was that like?
It was crazy. It was so hard for me to kick a ball. Like we were like literally in the snow practicing. It was crazy.
So moving on to the Riverhounds. So did playing outside or to playing for Robert Morris just outside of Pittsburgh, did that have any effect whenever you were looking to jump onto a new team and coming back to Pittsburgh for the play for the Riverhounds?
Yeah, it does because, it's like right out there. The Riverhounds is right out there. Everyone in the club, they already knew about me because of Robert Morris. So I have to give thanks for Robert Morris.
So you led the team in goals, the Hounds, this past year.
Yes.
And the team also had a lot of success as they hosted their first ever playoff game, their first ever home playoff game. So what was that experience like, the season, the game, and for, being such a huge contributor to, sending a team to the playoffs, hosting a playoff game that hasn't really had a lot of success in years past?
Oh, it was pretty good, you know. I mean, it's all about teamwork. The coach knew exactly what he was doing. He got the right guys to come and play, and you know what I mean. We just followed the coach's instruction and we delivered.
So, not only did you lead the team in goals and points, but your 37 point total last season is third in team history for the Hounds. So what have you been doing to try and top that so you can move to second or first? And also, what does it mean like to be, when you look at the record books, you see your name right there?
To be honest, I don't really follow the stats a lot, but it's good after the season you realize what you have achieved. To make it better this season, I've been going to the gym. I cut my off season short. I was back home instead of having fun. I was in the gym practicing, working out with different coaches, and just trying to be a better player. And hopefully, everything will makes everything better.
Now, to go back to your time before you came to Robert Morris, what was it like playing soccer in Jamaica as opposed and compared to here in the United States?
Was pretty fun back home. It's slightly different. Back home, it's more skill and technique. Here, it's like more physical. You know what I mean? It's a lot of running. You run more, so that's the only different. But as they say, soccer is one language. So once you know exactly what you're doing, whenever you get somewhere, only thing you might have to adjust, it might be a little bit more physical.
Now, when you mentioned earlier in the interview when you were adjusting to the United States, you didn't really like any of the food here. Do you have any favorite food now in the United States, or is it still you still miss your food from back home?
I still miss my food back home. It's difficult. Good thing I learned how to cook. I have my own place, so I can cook whenever I want. Whenever I'm coming here, I normally take my Jamaican seasons with me, so I could cook a proper meal.
So you played on the Jamaican national team for U17 and U20 before you came to Robert Morris. So what was that experience like? And do you have any aspirations to be a part of the senior club in future years?
It helps a lot, you know what I mean? When I came in, I was a little bit more experienced than most of the guys. And yeah, in the future, I would love to represent the senior team. So right now, I'm just working hard at this level, trying to play good, and hopefully I'll get a call up someday.
Now the team, obviously, when they made the playoffs, they unfortunately for you guys, you guys fell in PKs at the end in a phenomenal game at Highmark, phenomenal crowd. So what was the atmosphere like for that crowd? And also, what are you guys planning on doing you already talked about what you've done to personally get better, but what about the team as a whole so that you guys can get past the first round?
Sorry. As a team, we're just trying to work hard, trying to take it one step at a time, because you won't just move straight to the playoff. You have to get there first, you know what I mean? So that's the first step, and whenever we get there, we know we have to focus, because last year the mistake that we made was because we played that team 2 times before we won both games. I think we didn't concentrate 100% right through the game, so that's something we have to work on, you know what I mean? So just got to be concentrate a little bit more.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Neco. Good luck on the season this upcoming season.